Okay, okay, so I'm continuing my coverage of my games at the Asian teams. This is game three. I was black, and I think this game was not very exciting, but there were some interesting moments, and um, so it was a and it's worth noting that after this tournament, I probably want to switch up a bit because I really didn't enjoy I mean sort of equal-ish. The games are sort of equal-ish, but I feel like I could do better. But I mean, I could do better positionally, like gaining those small edges. But it's not so easy sometimes in the Petrov, and sometimes play is quite passive, and I might get easily crushed when playing against a stronger opponent. But also, I don't want to learn so much theory for now, so maybe I'll just stick to it because Bishop E4 is quite a decent sideline, I think. So A3 take D6. This is quite standard. Bishop G5, I didn't really know, but again, it's to me quite subtle, like how H6 might be preferred. So here, knight D7, yeah, I just continue my normal development. Here, I didn't see the point of H6 because I think it might just go back. And then I was thinking, perhaps I can take an F3, but maybe it's not what I want. Like the G file may be a bit dangerous. So still wasn't very sure, and also not exactly sure why how taking here, like how this position is better compared to, like, for example, H6 bishop E3, and then okay, so here we don't take. Okay. So I see the idea. So it's sort of like if you compared this, the position we just saw after queen d2, so this position would be quite good because this bishop is sort of dead. But if we compare it without h6, this bishop can always come back to e3. I guess that's the difference. Not exactly sure about it. But anyway, the game went knight c5, which I wanted to do. Actually, I wanted to play knight e6, which allowed me to. I mean, I didn't want to take here because, after all, my bishop isn't that great. Like, so if I trade, then my bishop, I wasn't very sure. And also, it undoubles his pawns, which I'm not really comfortable with. So I played knight e6, which was my plan, but apparently knight f takes e4 is the idea here. And the idea is that if you trade first, let's say you trade and then you take on d8, knight d2, rook d2, you regain material, and this is quite good. But I really didn't see these. I think I'm not really familiar with these sacrifices along these pins, so I missed it. And also, my idea was to play 96, so I played it quite quickly. 96 h4 was not that great, I thought, because I was thinking if he had played bishop e3, and here I would be quite happy, and I would take. And then here, maybe I would start fighting for f4, the f4 square, and also like knight h5, knight f4, and also I was thinking even to, of course, queen d7, then castle queenside. That was my idea. I thought I really would enjoy this position, but and after bishop h4, I think knight f4 would be really good, or include bishop f3 first. I think it would be quite. I mean, I felt it was quite good. So, or just perhaps just play queen e7 and castle. That was also an idea I thought of. But either way, or maybe take on f3 before everything that I said. But anyway, in the game we played h4, which I thought was quite weird. Like, why would you play h4? Like, because now you cannot play g4 anymore. So h6, bishop e3, bishop g6, and then bishop b5 check. So here before I played h6, I already see this idea, like sneaking back onto this e4 pawn. But apparently there are some very nice ways of defending, like for some knight g5 or like these sort of stuff. But I didn't really understand. Like, I think it's trying to get some compensation out of the pawn. But basically here I won a pawn and then I played f5. So here I thought I didn't want to complicate because I'm not sure. I sort of missed queen d3 because I thought I won a pawn. But here I want to keep the pawn because if I play like knight 6 to d5 as the computer suggested, I wasn't really sure like how am I supposed to deal with this. Like queen takes d6 and then here I'm not sure. Okay, there's knight e4, but I missed this. So I wasn't sure about this line, so I played f5. I thought, okay, f4 is coming. I cement the knight. Next move, I might go like, yeah, basically this was my idea. You know, maybe now it's better because there's no attack on my king, it seems. But there's knight d2 somehow the engine suggests. But okay. I mean, if I could keep the pawn, then I would feel quite good about myself. Even though, yeah, he actually played knight d2, but yeah, I played knight takes d2, rook takes d2, and f4. So apparently the computer was saying queen f5 because this knight is also hanging. So this one is what I missed. But yes, basically this is what I missed. So rook d2 and then f4. I thought queen g6, but it doesn't really do anything. But there's some very nice trick I saw through the game, bishop c5. This is really cool because if you play knight takes c5, then queen g7, this will result in a repetition. So this was cool. He didn't see it. He just played queen d6, and the endgame was quickly deteriorating. Here, yeah, just it continued a few more moves. Actually, I played until checkmate, I believe, but basically just cut off this rook and then try to infiltrate like here or here. Slowly but surely you'll win. So I think this game was there were some inaccuracies to be honest, but I think it's okay. I think it's okay. I think it sort of shows that very I'm not very clean in the Petrov. Like I think it's important in the Petrov to be precise. I wasn't playing against a very strong opponent, and I think I could have dealt with it better. Like the technique and everything, like, there's a lot of improvement that can be done, and I think this is the difficulty of playing with the Petrov. Okay, so let me load another game. So this game I was playing black again, and it was again the Petrov. This time against an FM. I think this really solidifies why I don't want to play Petrov somehow. Here after bishop, he was out of book after bishop b4 to be honest, and he played bishop c4, and then it was like bishop d6 and then knight h3, castle d6. Here I wasn't very sure. I just sort of played a bit like based on my heart, just trying to play normal chess. And I think I played okay. Before I wasn't really afraid, so I played bishop e6, takes, bishop d2, bishop b2. And I remember playing knight e7 quite quickly, and I wasn't really sure of my middle game plan. I just, I thought, okay, this knight is I felt that it was going to e7, so I just did it. And then knight h4. So we were basically fighting. Like, I was thinking to maneuver it to f4. He's now probably going to f5. So it's sort of a maneuvering fight. So knight g6 I played, and he took, and d4. Here was I was quite comfortable with my position. Like we traded quite we traded two minor pieces, and I think it's quite okay. Here after d4 played knight h5. Why did I play knight h5? Because I didn't want to take. This I really didn't want. After queen d4, I don't like this position, and I was not so afraid of d5 because this closes the bishop, nor am I really afraid of takes. So I just play knight h5, just trying to continue with my plan. And then queen g4. So queen f6, quite immediately. D e5, rook d8. So play rook f8. I didn't really know what to play. I felt that this knight is a bit stupid, and many pieces are eyeing this f4 square. Not sure what to do. Rook e2. Play queen e7 because I want to play knight f6. Rook was play rook f4 and then knight f6. So play rook d2 and then rook e4, queen a2, and knight f6. This is the big blunder because up till here I think we both played fine. Of course he played a bit better, but here I should really play rook f7 for some reason. But anyway, actually in the game I saw that I was aware that this rook might get trapped, and I already saw f3 before I played knight f6, and after knight f6 he instantly played f3, and then I played knight h4. This was my idea because I thought after f3 I induced this square, but apparently it's just doesn't really do much. Like the square is not really usable. So here I was like sort of juggling around, and here there was nothing I could do. Like it's just mate. So that was what happened. This was on the DGT board, and actually there was, yeah, I think I spent quite a lot of time compared to him. He really didn't spend much, but all in all, this game just shows that, like, I mean, these two games just show that in the Petrov, I wasn't sure what I was doing, and so it just turned bad. I think here maybe I should not trade. Maybe I should just wait. But like, let's say d4. Uh, like I have to play e4. I'm not really liking it. I wasn't sure where the counterplay or the defenses are, to be honest. So I think this was the thing in this game. So by the way, these are all just rapid games. So yeah. All right. Next, let me load another game. Okay, this game is game 5, and this game was really interesting. And also, the team's result was also in the line, like on the line. So, this is quite an important game because it was a very long game. One of the last games that ended in the whole playing hall. And yeah, it was quite the treat to play and quite nervous, but I think we did quite well. Like, okay, let's start. It was Sicilian. Sicilian. As usual, play the Alpin, and then here there are some setup stuffs. Like I play this offbeat, a sort of offbeat, but Queen b3. Okay, I think I'm definitely going to be screwed. Like my coach is going to be screaming at me because Before I played queen b3 in the game, I already recall that it's not the move. Like, I remember that I committed this a similar mistake before, but somehow I just played it in the game because I thought, okay, I'm definitely induce e6, and what's so bad about it? But the thing is, the queen is doing nothing on b3 after e6, and actually, in fact, I had to bring it back to d1, and yeah, so I think I will definitely remember this. So bishop b3 because I didn't want to face knight a5, so I just played bishop b3. And also I want to play knight c4. So I played b5, and here I felt some pressure already. The pieces on the king side aren't really doing anything, most likely because I lost some tempo with the queen going to b3 and then back to d1. So I played bishop f4 because I had to develop, I think. Not yet. Oh, I didn't play bishop f4. Really? Why didn't I play bishop f4? Ah, I was afraid of some knight h4 ideas without h3, so I just played rook e1 first. And then, okay, but even though the queen side looks like this, but he's not really playing c4 actually. And if b4, I was about to, oh yeah, if he played b4, I was about to play knight c4. And if takes takes, I wasn't afraid because his pawns are also weak. So I just thought, okay, this would be good. So I just didn't touch the queen side. Page 6, bishop e3, queen c7, queen e2. Queen e2 is to, because queen c7 is to prepare with d8, so I played queen e2 to prepare this. And also the queen is doing nothing on d1. It's just going to get pinned, so here I played knight c2. I was thinking a lot about whether to place the bishop on c2 or the knight on c2, but I think perhaps after I played this move, I felt like I rushed it. There's no need to decide for now. You can wait. So just play knight c2. The idea is to play. I don't really recall the idea. I think maybe to play d4. I think h3, bishop rook c8, rook a d1, bishop d6, a3, knight e7, d4. I think I played d4 just to free my pieces, but actually, like, I think had he played after I played d4, I was really afraid of c4 actually, because this bishop looks odd, especially like there's knight f5 here already, and knight d5. It's quite uncomfortable. But he didn't play c4. He played uh, knight g6, and I instantly just took on c5, and I was really relieved to have these exchanges. But okay, actually, I have to say, starting from here, I wasn't so sure about the move order I did, like whether I played like which moves were first, because I didn't write the notations in the game, and I couldn't really remember after it. So basically, something like this happened, and I got to trade. And here, very luckily, there's queen d4 to save the day. Otherwise, I felt it would be quite uncomfortable. And this endgame we played on for like a long time. It was like definitely past 60 moves. And then I would like to show. So basically, it's something like I tried to win these, and this bishop went to a8. Like I forgot how did it go to a8. It's something like bishop c2, knight b3, knight a5, I believe, something like this. And then Somehow I lost some pawns. Like I lost these pawns. I also lost this pawn, and it was very chaotic. And it was like a sort of a knight race. Like we had a knight each, and I was a sort of pawn race to the end. I would like to show the end position, which is quite interesting. I'm not sure. Okay, so here's the position. I was white, and it was a very interesting position actually. Somehow I lost all these I lost all my kingside pawns, but I have a very strong passer on a6. At least it looks strong. So the engine gives 94, but I think it's impossible to play 94. Like I don't really understand. Why would somebody play 94? I played knight b7 because I thought, okay, actually originally I would like to play 94, but with the idea that I'm losing already. But then I saw knight b7, so I played knight b7. Um, and he played king b5, and he took. And here it was critical to play g3, and he did. And here I was so shocked, like, because in the endgame we spent quite some time, we had some increment, and here I was calculating the whole line. And okay, I thought, okay, g3. Oh, I missed g3. I said to myself, but then I calculated, and I actually didn't see how he might win. So I played king b7. And this is actually the best line. The engine gives like king b8, but it just shows that it's not true. Like king b7, g2, a7, a like g1, a8, and then queen b6 check. Here is the really key point. Like queen b6 check, king c8, and he took the knight. He actually took the knight. But what he should have done is to trade queens, because the knight is not able to stop these. Not to mention, you probably win the knight as well. So and he took, and here we had a repetition. It it was a very long repetition. Like he tried all the possible squares basically after every check. No, not c3. Sorry, not c3. Otherwise, I might have. Yeah, it's not possible to go to c3 anyway. But in the end, um, there was a little bit of a conflict when claiming. I was a bit agitated as well. I was like, oh my god, this definitely repeated 3 times. I said to the arbiter, like, I'm sure it repeated 3 times. And he said, like, I have to claim. Like, I played, I think it was this. And then we played king b4, and like queen e2. And then I was like, I stopped the clock and I was told the arbiter, like, I'm definitely sure this position repeated already more than 3 times. And he said, yes, but you have to claim. And I said, okay, this position probably also 3 times because we really played a lot. And then the arbiter said, like, no, it didn't. So then we like continued like king e5, and then okay. So I said, okay, now I'm gonna claim it, and I pulled my queen up to d5, and it was a draw. But then my opponent was like, oh no, like he said it before, like he grabbed the queen before saying he was going to claim the draw. But anyway, the arbiter just said I said it before I claimed the draw. But I mean, I said it before I grabbed the queen. But anyway, it's a draw anyway. So like wherever he goes, I will just cannot a6 apparently because there's this. But I hope I didn't miss this. But fine. I mean, a draw is fair. I feel. Yeah, I feel a draw is fine. But this was very interesting game because there were a lot of middle game tactics. Like we made a lot of tactics like sacrificing pawns. Not sure it worked or not, but at least psychologically, with low time on the clock, we tricked each other quite a lot. I mean, tried to trick, but we somehow just saw each other's things. And night end games are really tricky anyway. So yeah. So I think these games were quite okay. Like they were rapid games, so not not like super in depth analysis, but I think it's fine. Okay. So then I'll continue more on the other games. Okay, so I'm continuing the coverage, and game six would be this game, and I think this is one of the saddest games, I think, of my tournament. Yeah, I wasn't really happy after this game. To be honest, I really wasn't, but I was really glad that our team won in the end, thanks to my teammates, and we won the whole match 4-2, I believe. But let's see this game. Okay, so this was game six. E4, c5, c3, d5 takes knight f3, knight c6. I did some homework on this, and I played my line. I continue to play my line, and here I was a bit more familiar with this after checking it. And in the actually, I would like to share. In the game, I was a bit worried about rook d8 because after it, I don't know what to do. But actually, there's knight e3, the very simple knight e3, just working everything. So, like if queen h5, we can also take on g4. This would be quite pleasant. So, played queen d8 as he should, and then bishop f4. Here, I think the idea of this opening is like it's really quite comfortable for me. I really felt quite comfortable, and also people don't really know how to play against this line. Here, castles, bishop e7, knight e5. I felt like I was in a better position. Like I could feel it. I was really comfortable about things. Rook d2, rook d8, and then everything seems to be great. I think, but then there was a bit of trouble. Here, I didn't want to play bishop g3 because I was already wanting to play queen f3. Nonetheless, like I want to attack this, and also to support d4 in the future with some other moves. So, but I didn't really see the tactics. Like here, I had to like give up something. Like, I lost my advantage here because I just simply missed the idea of bishop g5, which is quite sad, and I was like so devastated after seeing this move. And I played d4. And the fun thing is, after knight f6, there's a good move for me, bishop h4. Like, who would have thought bishop h4 is there? Like, I saw some ideas of kingside attack, but seriously, I just blew my mind. Like, maybe you would think there are some chances here if you hadn't played d4, but after playing this, and after the knight remaneuvered to the most natural square, I I just don't believe it. I couldn't believe in that moment that I had a move that might even equalize, let alone get an advantage, right? So before the idea is to open up, and then you might have some nice ideas. with the queen and the knight, since the queen is so away. But okay, so queen b7 takes. Like I try to be smart doing this kind of stuff, but it doesn't help. I think it's even more sad that I saw bishop h4 after the game, like using the engine. It just makes everything even more sad. So this was a quite a sad game, to be honest. But again, I think playing in the team event is good because like your teammates can help out. So this was the second game. I was black. Um, I was playing against quite a strong player, I believe. Here I didn't exactly know what to do. Like the Rogozin is something that I'm really not familiar with, and I should be more familiar with. Here, I after before this was like I thought Queen A5 was a very nice touch, which turns out isn't really. So I'm not sure why. Here I just took because I thought, okay, I destroyed your pawn structure. How can it be bad? And then here, I play b5. I think it's really a good lesson. Like in general, you wouldn't come up with a move like b5. It's a move that you come up when you want to be smart. Like you want to be smart. Yeah, that's the best way to put it. So like you haven't even castled, haven't even developed, or 92, I don't know. And you try to play moves like b4, b5, and play bishop e2. And my idea was to play b4 because I thought, okay, I think I'll win this pawn, but apparently I just missed queen e4 as an idea. Like he just castled, and I just took the pawn. I thought he was going to sacrifice it, but no, he wasn't going to do it. He was just going to play queen e4 and queen c7. Here it's already lost because there's always bishop g3. I played queen a8, bishop b7, bishop g3. Here, if I played bishop, bishop takes queen, it's just lost. If I played queen c8, there's bishop, then the bishop is here, so I can play queen b8. And if I play bishop d6, then trade, and this bishop would lose. So a very nice tactic, which is actually quite a simple one. But I played one last trick, bishop f3. This was my final trick. Oh no, not bishop f3, sorry, queen g3. This was my last trick. Because if he played fg or hg, then after taking the queen, I wouldn't mind trying this for a little bit longer. Like I have two bishops, eyeing the king and this pawn. I could try, but he really smartly took the bishop instead, and here I just resigned. So this was the thing about this game. This game was also quite sad for me. So I mean, there are some really complicated stuff that I don't want to study as a lazy chess player. That's the thing. So yeah, this was the seventh game, and then to this game. This game was really nice game. I mean, I really loved this game a lot, and it was also quite an important one considering the like considering our team standings, like not standings, but our team result, because um like on three boards we had some issues, so we lost them, and then the other two boards won, and so I'm the only one fighting. And if I win, we draw the match. So I was playing against a Mongolian girl, and I played a6, and I thought, okay, Like, okay, I know a6 is like not as easy as it seems, but I just continue like normally. I would like to skip a bit. C5 was quite good. I played c4 because I was like, okay, just stop this. And yeah, because I didn't want to face c4, and I didn't want to take either. Like, I mean, you have to do something about this anyway, so why don't you just? I wanted to keep it complex, so I just played c4. So he played b. She played b4, which not really so sure about it. Let's play d5, just close the center to keep play. Played g6, knight d2, bishop g7. Basically, just I felt quite comfortable about my position. Knight f6, queen d2, trying to trade like dark square bishops because I think his most active piece is the dark square bishop. This long diagonal is really nice, and there's no good way of really opposing it. So the best way to do it is via h6. And he played queen e5, which I missed, to be honest. I didn't really see this idea before I traded on h6. But then I played. Here I thought, okay, fine. Like, I'm going to lose a pawn, but so what? The attack on the king side seemed very, very promising, so I just played knight g3. Which, the idea is, if he were to take on a2, which he did, I just played h4. Because this was my idea. Like, I just push h4. And if he had played b3 or something like that, I would just play. I think I would just play king e2. And then if he even takes, I'll play rook e1, and there's nothing really about this pawn, and there's really a big attack going on here. So yeah, I wasn't really afraid. So anyway, he played queen e2 immediately without b3. Then just played h4 and knight g4. Okay, here it was interesting. So if I played something like queen f4, there are some ideas actually because there's knight e5, and after takes. If I play bishop e2, this pawn already falls. Like, okay, I can't play bishop e2 because of the rook. But if I play bishop c2, then this queen takes c4 is also an idea. So, in considering all this, queen c1 is the only good move because this is the only move where you defend the pawn and the rook. And I was very happy to find queen c1 because it seems like f4 is better than c1 because f4 is closer. But c1 is much better because it defends everything, and it's only an illusion that the queen is more convenient for the attack on f4 than on c1 because the queen is most certainly on this diagonal going to roam. So it's quite a nice touch, I felt. So I played queen c1, knight queen e5, h5. So I mean, I wasn't afraid of b3 and then ba2. So why would I be afraid of b3 alone? Right, so I just played h5, king g7. And then I took. No, I didn't take. I played queen f4. I don't really remember why I played queen f4. I think it was like trying to go here and then go here. Couldn't really remember. I was also a bit nervous here. Knight f6, and then I took. And actually, I was a bit overestimating. I mean, not overestimating, but I thought I could win here, but actually, it's not so simple. Played queen h4, knight e5, knight e5, d5, queen g5. Just trying to attack the weaknesses. Queen c7. I played queen h. I don't remember what I played actually. Yeah, I won this. It was I had like 20 seconds. I wrote here in my notes, and at some point I played f4, try to break open things, and then place the rooks on like on f1. Then I just made at him somehow. Like he made a mistake, but I think it was very difficult to hold as well here. So I just won in this position, which I felt quite nice. I think the move I like most about the game is probably Queen C1, I think. I was trying to get a review, but never mind. Yeah, I really like this move. Like Queen C1 is a move I really enjoy. Yeah, so this was the game. And then there was the game here, game 9. I was what was I? Oh, I was black. Sorry. Okay, so that game I won, and all of us were extremely happy about it. Like we were so happy about it. Oh, sorry, not this game. And then because we tied the match, and then this was the next day, game 9. Another Petrov. This is more classical. It's actually this. Whenever they play this line after d3 and then d4, it's like the exchange French, and it's like another thing. And I remember getting screwed up in this kind of position, so I tried to be careful, but I'm not sure. Here, I, I was quite sorry, but here I was quite sure, like he didn't know what he was doing. After, sorry, it keeps going back, but I don't think he knows what he's doing after he takes. Like, I just don't think he knows what he's doing. It's my feeling, but maybe it's okay. I mean, especially after this take on d5, I really thought, oh, this can be good for him, right? So I play bishop d5, knight c6, and just the idea is just to attack d4. Like this is the what I thought the only plan I had. They create a blockade on d5 and then just try to attack. But I think it's not as simple as I thought. Like there are some ideas, and then here in the middle, I think around. Sorry, I keep going. I'm very sorry. Like around here, I remember a homework that my coach gave me once, and in it, it says like you cannot. I don't exactly remember is it this position, but it says like you cannot win with only one advantage. You have to create. I mean, you cannot win with only one weakness, which is d4 in this case. You have to win when there are two weaknesses. So um, I kept this in mind during the game, and I played f f3. I think is not so good. Like I was very happy to induce this, but also there's queen d4, but I didn't see it. But anyway, in general, f3 is not so good. So here, it's not so easy to play against d4 because there's knight c5 coming, and it's quite unpleasant. So I played bishop e7. I had to, I believe, and then h5. H5 was a move I would love to play. Like I'm not, and I think the computer is not so happy about it. I'm not sure, but I was really happy to play this move. Like I think, like I knew what I was doing. Knight c5, b6. Here it was all of my. This was what I planned. Rook c2, rook d6, bishop d6, rook g6. Just some maneuvering and bishop d6. I was very happy if I could trade this bishop. And he played bishop d6, queen d6. Play rook e2, knight e7, queen c4, h4, rook c2, rook d7. And here I didn't continue recording for some reason, but I remember I won this game. How did I win this game? I don't remember exactly. It was like knight f5 or something. It would seem so. I think it was something like that. But I won this game basically, so that was what happened. Yeah, so this was the game 9, and I'm quite happy about it. I think all the games had their own perks and problems. Some might need some more attention, but I think it's fine. But I think my mentality is also quite good in these games. Like I wasn't very nervous or very anxious during the games, which I'm really grateful about. So yeah, I think I played well, all in all, and I'm happy about it. So yeah, so there's still two games which were on DGT. I can review them next time. So for now, I think this can be it. And I will also play in Hong Kong Open starting from tomorrow. So that can also be some coverage. So yeah, see y'all later.